30 hertz straight up.
Hello, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Lupus Has No Face with your host, Savannah, and our special guest, Beats of Lupus or Beats Lupus. Okay. We are here to talk about the rhythm through resilience, fighting lupus through music. All right. My apologies, you guys. So we got our special guest in the building. Hello, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you have a busy schedule because you be all over the world just doing your thing with them drums. Okay, we definitely gonna get into that a
Right.
little bit later. But
Okay.
jumping right in. Let's let the people know just you without the lupus, you without the band. Who
Okay.
are you?
Okay. Well, my name is Dion Langley, originally born in Portsmouth, Virginia. Um, to keep it simple with me, I'm a loving father. Um, I'm a father first. I love my kids. I think me being a father really keeps me going. Outside of that, of course, I love playing drums and I love basketball. I love to be that guy that loves to go out to eat. Like I can eat. I'm real greedy. A lot of people may not know that about me, but I'm real greedy. So that's something like people probably may not know. But just outside of the whole lupus thing, like I'm a real quiet, laid back person. But I'm a very caring person too. So I feel like a lot of the things that I do, or the things that I've accomplished, it just has a bigger purpose outside of just me. So I love to give back in such a way that can probably help someone. Um, but other than that, like I say, I'm a real laid back person. Real greedy. Love to eat, but that's just who I am. That's just who I am.
Well, your
Yeah.
demeanor is giving us laid back, so I can believe that you're very laid back. So let's dive right into it, right? So I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you about your music
Okay.
and lupus. How do it like correlate with each other? How did that all come together? So can you share a bit of your personal journey with lupus and how it has shaped your life in music?
Okay. Yes. Well, I was diagnosed back in 2010. Um, 2010 when I was diagnosed, it really changed my life because I was just a real happy, laid back person. I love playing basketball. I was into sports and just very active. So when I got diagnosed, it took a different toll. My life took a different route. I had to find myself slowing down and can't do the things like I really wanted to do physically, especially playing basketball and things of that nature. The funny thing was I've always played drums since I was a kid, about 5 or 6 years old. So I always found that love for drums, and I got that love for music early in life. Um, about 2012,
Mm-hmm.
my lupus really took a turn for the worse. And that was between 2010 and 2012. That was probably the hardest time frame for me because I was still trying to figure it out. I was still trying to understand why I have lupus. I like that was probably the hardest time for me because I just secluded myself from like the world. The only people that I was really close to was my kids, my intermediate family. I didn't even tell a lot of people that I had lupus. That was just the crazy part.
So
If it was a situation,
if I can
say that,
interject, if I can
yeah,
interject just a little bit.
yeah,
So from 2010, right? From
yeah.
2010 to 2012,
Hmm.
why did it get worse? Like, what was the difference when you first got diagnosed? Like, what did that look like versus 2012 when you were trying to figure it out?
Well, when I first got diagnosed, it was worse then. I think that whole time frame for me was because I still didn't accept it yet. I never really accepted it. So mentally going through that process, I'm still denying it. The whole time I'm just denying the whole thing that I have lupus. So I'm just trying to play it off. Like I say, not even accepting the fact that I do have it. So it made me physically worse because my mind didn't match what my body was actually dealing with because I was going in a whole different direction. And understand this, people say, you beat lupus the way you need to beat lupus. That's my saying. But I learned to beat lupus mentally more so than physically. That's why I'm able to do what I do the way I do now, because I learned to beat lupus mentally. Physically, there's nothing we can do about lupus because lupus does what it wants whenever it wants to. It's not like Lupus gonna send us a text message and be like, "Yo, you gonna feel sick tomorrow." You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. So lupus creeps up on it. So at the end of the day, we have to be mentally strong to be able to accept whatever comes with it. Now we all know when that does happen. I know I got to lay down and rest. I know I got to just take next couple of days, chill, don't do anything. But mentally, I'm telling myself, "Hey, I had a bad day with lupus today, but tomorrow, guess what? I'm gonna be right back being Dion." So I think at the end of the day, when I say hashtag beat lupus, it's because I'm beating lupus mentally because physically I can't control what lupus does.
So,
So in that first time frame where I had that struggle period, it was because mentally I wasn't strong.
gotcha. It's so funny that you say that because it does all start in the mindset, right? Like we can do whatever, we
Yeah,
can do all of the things. Living well with lupus is living well with lupus is really a thing. But if it's gonna do what it's gonna do, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, right? It's gonna run its course,
that's it.
and so it makes sense when
That's
you
it.
say like we can't control it,
Right.
other than
Right.
in our mind. But
That's it.
there's a lot of things that we can do to learn to live well, with lupus with the proper
Of
tools and
course.
measures, things of that nature. But you do
Exactly.
definitely have to be mind strong. And I think that's what a lot of the things, all of the things really in life comes with your mindset first.
Of
So
course.
that's dope that you said that. So 2010 versus 2012, 2012 you accepted it, right?
Yeah.
And just doing all of the things. So when you accepted it, you started doing better. Is that fair to say?
That's it. That's you nailing it because 2012 was when I came out of that stage of denial, and I had to figure out a way. This is something that the doctors told me that I have for the rest of my life, so I can't live the rest of my life the way I was living from 2010 to 2012. That was the worst period for me. So in order
Mm,
for me to just change that mindset and be where I'm at now, being able to be able to handle lupus, whatever comes with it, I had to change my whole mindset. So 2012, I made that change. When I tell you I cried, people don't know how much I cried. I prayed. I mean, it was just so many things. But like I say, God is my number one. So I know that I'm here today because of him. It's not even Dion ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't got nothing to do with how strong I am, mentally strong, whatever. God has got me through this, and I'm so grateful for that. Always.
man, hats off to you because they don't understand when they say about the faith, right? The faith
That's it.
becomes very strong when you have nothing else to lean on. When you have nothing and no
That's it.
one,
No one.
all you can
Exactly.
go to is have faith. And when that faith shows you the works, it's like, man, you want to praise God, talk about him all the time because without him, it's
That's
like,
it.
well, really have been able to do.
That's it. That's it. And
Love it.
and understand this. When you in that hospital room and you in that bed and you stay in the hospital for so long, and when all your visitors going, and you laying in that bed by yourself, when I tell you, you really think about a lot of things in your life, and that's probably that quiet time and that one-on-one time that I needed with God myself, because a lot of times He'll put you in situations to say, "Listen, I got to get you more focused on me. So I need to sit you down. You moving too much." So a lot of times things like that happen for a reason, and I just had to understand that. I had to.
That is so beautiful because people do not understand that, right? And I don't think I would have ever understand that unless I was diagnosed. Who knows? No one knows, right? But I say the same thing because it's like it could
Yeah,
be worse. You know what I'm saying? I could not be doing all of the
that's it.
things. I could not be here advocating and living my life while living well with lupus and spreading it and letting people know like lupus can be very beautiful and it's very manageable if you
That's
do all of the things, right? So that is so
that's
so
it.
so beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. Um, we on first name
Thank you.
basis. With that. I'm about to call you D. I'm
That's good. That's
about
cool. Let's do it. Let's
to
do it.
call
I love it.
taking off the hats. Okay, we taking off the hats. Um.
I love
Okay. So,
it. I love it. Let's do
yeah, how did you discover
it.
be a powerful tool in your fight against lupus?
um, it was it was funny how this whole process happened. Um, like I say, I always played drums as a child, so I always had that love for just drumming and music. Um, at the time when I got diagnosed and when I started my diagnosis and started dealing with lupus, I was still playing drums and still, still touring and still living that drum profession, living the drum life. And when I had got sick and I had got hospitalized for my lupus, that was the longest period that I was hospitalized for, probably about 4 or 5 months. It really took me down. So I probably didn't play for almost 6 or 7 months drumming. So when I finally got back to where the doctor said, I can probably, play and just be myself again. Um, but the funny thing about it, I had a doctor tell me that I'd never be able to play drums again. That's the crazy, like that's the crazy part. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say God is so amazing, because when I got diagnosed, a room full of doctors in there. I don't even know what I'm getting diagnosed on. Don't even know what lupus is. So they telling me these things, and the whole while it's like I can't do this, I can't do that. You got to stop doing this. You got to stop doing that. So I had a doctor told me, yo, I don't think you'll be able to play drums no more. That right there hurt. So I'm getting back to the point now to where I'm physically being myself, and I had a gentleman call me, and he said, hey, I want you to go on tour with me, my band. And I said, really? He said, yeah. So to me, that was a great opportunity, because I had to get back in just the swing of being a musician and just being a drummer. So I accepted the offer. This was around close to 2013, and I said, wow. I say, I'm about to get back on this road touring and just doing what I do. I needed that self motivation for myself to help get me through these shows, because I just wasn't sure how I would be, not just physically but mentally, to be able to deal with getting back into this drum thing. So at the time, that's when all the hashtags started coming out a little bit. So I just told myself, man, I'm gonna just put a t-shirt and just put hashtag beat lupus on it. And I decided to do that because I feel like this, it really relates to me, because with me being a drummer, I beat drums. So my goal is to beat lupus. So I was just like, man, yo, like that's the perfect saying for me. Right. So I said, I put hashtag beat lupus. I just put it on a t-shirt. So every time I would play, I would just have a different color hashtag beat lupus shirt on. And um, a lot of people be like, man, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt. And I was like, okay, thank you. But this was when I knew God had a different purpose for me.
Mm-hmm.
We was in Ohio. I did a show in Ohio, and it was time for the little drum solo. So they put me on the big screen, so I'm doing my little solo, but all you can see is my hashtag Beat Lupus T-shirt on. So after the show, you know, we get dressed, we about to go to the next city, and one of the security guys, they came and knocked on the door, and they was like, "Hey, Dion, somebody out here, they want to see you." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm in Ohio. I don't know nobody out here. Like, who want to see me?" Yeah, I'm like, I don't owe nobody no money or nothing, dude. I'm like, what's going on? So I walk out there, and of course, me being in the position I'm in, I have to be available to my fans if anybody want to take pictures, sign autographs. So I couldn't say no. So I walked out there, and when I walked out, I looked up. Of course, I didn't notice him, but it was a mother, a father, and they had their son with them, and the mom was just standing there, just bawling in tears. And I'm just like, wow. I was like, dang, well, I didn't think the show was that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what the deal was, but her husband was like, he was like, sir, he was like, my wife is emotional because you don't know how much that you bless her tonight. And I was like, what you mean? So he started telling me that their son that finally came to the show tonight, he was depressed. He was in depression mode. They say he finally came out his room tonight. They tried to get him out of his room for the past 2 months. His son used to be a star athlete in high school. He's about to graduate high school and go to college to play football. And when he took his physical, he found out he was diagnosed with lupus. So they took his scholarship, this and that and the third. So from that moment, he just really went in a downhill funk. And when they saw me playing drums and saw the T-shirt, she was like, wow, I didn't know. Well, first of all, they thought someone in my family had lupus, because you all know people don't know that males get lupus like that. Only like 10 to 20% of males have lupus. Right. So they first asked, I saw your shirt. Does someone in your family have lupus? And I was like, no, I do. And when they found out, she just gave me the biggest hug ever. And when they started telling me their story about their son, and just for me to encourage him that night and really let him know, I was like, listen, just because you have lupus, it don't mean you can't do the things that you want to do. It's just a limitation on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can still play drums, but it's like I got to kind of be careful how I play. I can't do no 3 or 4 hour shows no more going hard all day. I got to balance out how I get through these shows. You know what I'm saying? But that right there, that moment when I had a chance to talk with them, right, when I had to talk with them, explain to him, I educated him on it. I took pictures, signed autographs, and it made them feel so much better that night. And he left there with a sense of confidence and a sense that he can make it. And that night when we got on the plane to go to the next show, I knew that was my purpose. Like I knew it was a bigger purpose for me doing music versus me just out here trying to be the best drummer in the world, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? So God put me in this position and in this place for a reason. So that's how hashtag Beat Loop. And then I just started putting it on every shirt. And then, I just started coming up with different logos and different ideas. Now I got my little apparel company. So it's just, but from that moment, it just took off right there. And I knew that God had he had a major.
Take that little out of there, because I've been to a couple of your shows. Okay, there's nothing little about it. Okay. Take the little out of your apparel. Okay, well, doing your thing.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, I'm trying.
No, and that is so touching, because it's like, what would I say to you? You don't look like you have lupus. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people that's living well with people say, like, you don't look like you have lupus. It's like, what do lupus is supposed to look like? You understand, and that's why the disconnect and the bridge is not connecting with the doctors and the successful warriors, because if that was so, they would know. A lot of warriors would know that you can live life to the fullest and all of your potentials within limitations if you do all of the things right. And apparently something's not being connected between the physicians and the ones that are being successful living with this invisible illness, because people wouldn't have that stigma so much on it. You understand what I'm saying? So that was
Yeah,
so moving that you just gave them that hope because they looked at you and you probably made that boy, just
yeah.
reborn
He's
again
actually
because
doing well. He's actually doing. He's doing well now. And he reach out and we talk from like time to time, and I check up on him. But that moment, that night, really changed my life. How I looked at my role and what God had for like me moving forward. So I
mm,
knew it won't just about the drums. You know what I'm saying? It won't just about that. So, and even if you come to one of my shows now, yeah, the music is good. We do what we do musically, but at the end of the day, I'm telling the story, and I'm giving hope, and I'm giving you the process. I'm giving you my life musically. You know what I'm saying? So, and hopefully that can encourage someone.
it most definitely will encourage a lot of people. But what people don't understand is like how you look so healthy and just all put together. That did not come overnight. You know what I'm saying? Things just don't happen overnight.
That's
And
it.
it's hard. It's hard, it's
It is.
frustrating. We want to, not do all the
Yes.
things sometimes because we know we are limiting ourselves, even though other people don't know that we're limiting ourselves. And sometimes we
That's
do
it.
get rebellious, you know what I'm saying? But then we got to pick back up like, okay, I had my 2 days of being rebellious. Let me get back to it because this ain't it. It is hard, but it's
There you
very
go.
doable.
There you
It's
It's
very,
very
very
hard.
doable.
Yeah, it's doable. Like after a show, I'll be honest with you, I'm done. Like
So let's talk about that, right?
I am my body. Like I'm completely.
So, what does it take for you to prepare to go on tour, right? To be on tour,
Okay.
and what does it look like when you're done after a show? Like, let's let the people know like how did that look, even though it looked effortless to them. What are you dealing with
Okay.
the
For me, it's a lot of rest. A lot of people don't like outside of me being on stage or being in the public eye. It's a lot of rest. Like on tour, and my band to tell you, on tour, I probably miss breakfast every day, especially like after a show, because I'm like my body, like for real. So if it's a 9:30 or 10 o'clock or 10 a.m. type thing, don't even worry about it. Like Dion, you won't see Dion. You know what I'm saying? But they all know that I'm resting, and they already know that I have lupus. So probably the whole tour, I think I made breakfast like twice. And that was, you know what I'm saying? But I know how to recover, and I think that whole recovery time is just important. Now we'll have to go and get up the next morning and go to the next show. So on that travel, guess what I'm doing? I'm sleeping.
sleeping?
I'm resting. So like yeah, so like you hit the stage, you rest, recover, get up the next day, travel. So that whole travel time, that's probably can be from anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. I'm resting that whole time. So then when I get to the next show, boom, even in the dressing room or before the show starts, I'm somewhere just laying down, relaxing. But because I exert so much energy, like for me to do what a normal drummer does right now, I have to exert probably 3 times the energy just to be a normal drummer. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how it affects my body. But after a show though, like I am dead beat to like the world. And I tell people all the time, if you hit me up at 9, 8 o'clock in the morning, you're not gonna hear from me. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful to have the job and the career I have because I make my own schedule. So it's like I'm not forced to get up every day at that early hour because my body just don't work like that. And you already know when lupus can hit you when you feel like you want to get up and move, and it just won't let you move. So yeah, so I'm fortunate to have the job that I do have. So I'm not put in that position every day to be like, you got to be you got to be at work every day at 9 o'clock. That just won't work for me. So so God, like I say, God really had it planned out for me the way He needed it because He knew this is what I needed. But that's the tour life is, I got it right too. A lot of people don't like that was major for me. Because I'm so greedy. So it's not that I couldn't eat. Yeah, right. It's not It's not that I couldn't eat. I just had to tone down. You know what I'm saying? Versus me eating like the fried chicken wings, like I used to love. Everybody loved the chicken wings, but I would just grill them or do like bake. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I eat a lot of salmon, broccoli, fruit. I love fruit. So again, it's just a matter of me eating right too at the same time. You get your one day of cheating. I know I ain't perfect with it, but if I do have that cheat day, then the rest of that week, then guess what? I'm eating the way I need to. So I think it's about balance. So people got to understand when it comes to lupus, it ain't that you can't enjoy good meals. You just got to have balance with it. So that's all. Discipline.
Absolutely.
That's all. Yeah,
Discipline,
discipline. That's all.
a balance, and then you just gotta change your palate, your taste palate, because
That's it.
healthy
That's
things
it.
are very good. Like they are.
That's it.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Yes.
when you don't know how to
Yes.
master cooking them,
Man, listen, I got into a lot of vegan foods that's actually really, really good. And for someone that's greedy like me that love to eat, like, it's like it actually it's actually good. So it's just a matter of balance, man. Again, just like you said earlier, yes, we have lupus, but we still normal people. You understand what I'm saying? Like I love Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I love me some Chinese food. You cannot tell me about no good Chinese food. I love Chinese food all day. I just can't sit there and go at it like I used to. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting a super, super extra large, I just get a small. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about balance. That's all.
have to kill those
That's
taste
all.
buds, because once you start living well with lupus, your body's gonna tell you like, man, that was enough. It's going to tell you once you learn your triggers, your body is going to automatically speak to you. But until you do the work, you gonna be in for a long
Right.
ride. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Yep.
Um,
That's it.
what moments have inspired you the most in your journey of resilience through music?
Just just being able to inspire people. A lot of times, my career, and what I've dealt with, it's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of broken promises. Um, so in the music world, you know, you got to really create your own lane. I think at some stage, I guess mentally, I felt like I did everything I could do to get to the next level, or to be that person that gets above or get ahead. But it's really no way to do that. You can't. No one can do that for you. I feel like you got to create your own lane. And I feel like with me and what I have done, especially with my beat lupus and combining, my lupus advocate work to my music, I've just created a different lane for me. So for me to be able to like do that and just be real with just like the audience, the people, and just man, I love seeing the people face like after a show and just seeing them just be encouraged, and just be excited because certain people come, they may not be dealing with lupus, but they may be dealing with something else in their life. And just watching one of my shows, I just gave them strength to just try to move forward, to try to do better in life. So I think again, it's not about the music, but I think it's more to my music and it has a hidden message behind it. So for me to get that feedback, I mean that's my that's my go-to right there. I love it.
I love it too. Let me ask you something. So, like, before you was diagnosed with lupus, right?
Okay.
How was your life then? Not per se like the things that you were doing. Like, so what you had your hand into, right? What you were studying and putting all your time and effort into, trying to build a life for yourself. Was that taken off as this is taken off so fastly?
Um, I could say yes and no.
Okay.
Um, before before I became, a full-time drummer, I used to be a banker at Wells Fargo, and I love numbers. I was pretty good at it. I mean, I started advancing well, so I loved it because I also love the fact I used to love to dress up and put the shirt and tie on, the nice little suits, and
Mhm.
I'm a people person too. So I feel like I can have a conversation with an individual and just make just make that connection.
Mhm.
So I was really loving that line of work, and that's what I thought my whole life would just be, banking. But again, God had a different path for me, and where I'm at now, I love it. But my music career took off great because, like I said, the opportunity I had back in 2012, 2013, I wasn't even expecting that. And so just to get that fast, and then you start rolling, and then it's like, man, I came off that first tour. I was like, man, you know what? I'm not working for nobody else again. Like I'm like I gotta make this daggone drum thing work, because now it don't feel like work to me because I love playing drums anyways. So now I'm in a position to where I'm doing something that I love. You see what I'm saying? So to make that my business and to make that my way of living, man, that's stress free. And then that helps with my lupus, because lupus, you don't need stress. So think about it. Everything that I'm doing that's attached to me is stress free. So I'm always in a happy place. So and like I said, you already know how bad stress can be when you have lupus or with any illness, and stress could kill you. So think
Mhm.
about with me and what I do, and how my day to day works. I'm doing something I always love. I always love doing. So health wise, it helps.
It's so funny that you said, and I asked you that question because before I got into the nonprofit organization field or even the podcasting field,
Mm-hmm.
my life was just healthcare nursing, and being the highest
Gotcha.
nurse you can be, or probably going for the nurse practitioner, things of that nature, all of those things, right? But it's really a calling, because when people used to say like, "Oh, it's just guys' call," I used to be looking at them like they just talking. You know what I mean? Like, "Hey, God ain't told you that." So I used to be like people just be bored.
Right,
They be seeing some
right.
things, right? And so when
Mm-hmm.
face came into mind, I'm a person that needs to see my money. I need to count every penny, when it's gonna
That's it.
come,
That's it.
when can I be
That's it.
expecting it, all of those things. So for me to get in one of the hardest business to have a nonprofit, that was nothing I wanted to do, but it never left my thought process. And I totally understand what a calling is
Yes.
now, because I had that experience myself. And just dealing with,
That's it.
my warriors in the business, it's so, the word amazing is not even the word. I can't even put, it's so liberating to have helped people, and still to this day people reach out to me, and all I'm doing is sharing my story and telling them the things that works for me as a warrior.
That's it.
And of course I educate myself and things of that nature,
That's
so
it.
I can stay on the medicine and things of that nature, and bring it back to the business. But it's just so liberating when people just like, what you told me helped, and they call my phone and I
That's
help
it.
them not to commit suicide and things like that. But all of that stuff does weigh on me.
Yes.
But then at the end of the day, I do be like, you know what? Thank you, God, because you put Glam Girl Van in a position to where I can
Mm-hmm.
help warriors to still be themselves and not be so in a box per se, right?
That's it.
And
That's
so
it.
that is just so liberating. So I definitely get what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. And that feeling is unmatched with
Yeah,
anything. And it all
it
it
is. You
makes
can't.
you
Yeah.
want to take care
Yeah.
of
You
yourself.
can't. You can't. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely can't beat that feeling. Um, I get a I get a lot of emails, text messages, inboxes, whatever. And when someone reach out to me and they say that listening to my song, or listening to me speak, or they heard me speak somewhere, and when it really helps someone else, like that's the joy that I get out of it. Um, hashtag Beat Loop is bigger than just Dion. You know what I'm saying? Like hashtag Beat Lupus is way bigger than just me. So me out here rocking my gear every day, me out here. No, I'm sending a message. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, you know what, people, I get it all the time. they be like, man, does someone in your family have lupus? They don't even know that it's me. But the message
Yeah.
that I'm sending when they see my shirts or whatever, I'm drawing right, I'm drawing attention that so we can have that conversation because you never know who may need the help. So I feel like, what I'm doing, yeah, I ain't no big time organization and all that stuff. I get it. I ain't got no 100 members and all that stuff, but I'm making an impact in my own way, and I'm doing it different. Sometimes you can't be like everybody else. That's what I love, being different, because at the end of the day, I'm running my own course. I'm running my own path. You know what I'm saying?
Find
So
your
at the end of the day, this is what I do. This is what I do. If I had the money and the funding like most of these organizations, man, we will have a lupus billboard. We will have a lupus billboard. You understand what I'm saying? We it's so much as a community that I know that we can do when it comes to lupus, but I ain't in that position. That's a whole bunch of politics. I ain't got time for that. So I advocate my way. I do it the way I do it, and that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. It's all politics. A lot of times with these organizations, is people standing behind the scenes, the ones that's really advocating and the ones that's really out there pushing the brand. You know, they just don't take notice of it. So I think at the end of the day, the different podcasts and the things that you're doing and the way that you're reaching the community. A lot of these organizations, they don't reach the community like that. And that's sad to say, but that's just reality. That's all. That's
I
all. So
appreciate it
what you
so
doing
much.
matters. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me
Yeah.
teary eyed over here.
No,
No,
you good. No, I'm just no. It's just reality though. It's just reality. Think about this though. Just really think about this. How many lupus foundations we have just in America? Period. The different organizations.
yeah.
Hey, right. I ain't
I,
never went nowhere and seen a lupus billboard nowhere. I ain't seen nothing. Nothing.
and when it comes to things like that publicly,
Right.
I keep
Yeah.
it, cute, because you don't never want to get banned or anything like that. But
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was in Washington D.C., not D.C., but when I was in Washington at the Capitol last year and I spoke at the summit,
Right.
um, the things that I asked, nobody asked that. They wasn't going to ask that. They wasn't going to
Right.
say that. And when I tell you the claps, the applause that was going on as I spoke, like it was that feeling was unmatched. I'm talking about them applause went on and on and on and on and on. And I'm speaking
Right.
from having
Right.
business and I'm speaking from a warrior standpoint because a lot
Got you.
of those organizations that have those life-changing funds are not doing the things that I am doing on my platform. I know I'm being
Exactly. Is that
I know I'm being watched, and I love it. So that time will come when it's supposed to come, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Like at that
yeah.
capacity that they have that, it should be
Right.
more. And I asked that while I was there, like, well, how come? And the Self Care Act, when it came to Tammy Bowen, we were on a project for the warriors, like or any autoimmune disease. I was asking them, can they put something in place to where it's like a stipend for 6 months? Because the longest we could be down is like 6 months, right? Before we get back
Right.
being our regular selves. And I told them, like, most people are like doctors and have these high paying job, nurses and things of that nature. And the state benefits is not going to cover our dog. It's not going to cover our house. It's not going to cover all of the
Right.
things that we created in our life. So when I pitched that with the Self Care Act, she was very interested in that. So those are the things that I'm going to continue to work through
Yeah. No
and
doubt. Keep
or
doing that.
pay
Keep
into
doing that.
with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
organization. So
That's it. That's it. Keep doing that. I'm proud of you. And like I said, I already told you, I've been following you for a while, and I seen the great work that you've been doing. So I definitely support you, and that's why I'm on this podcast with you tonight, because like I said, I definitely appreciate the work that you're doing. So I love it. Keep it up.
thank you so much. So let's talk about it. Why did you choose to come on Lupus Has No Face podcast versus other podcasts? What made you okay and open to the invitation?
It's certain. We ain't gonna drop. I ain't gonna name drop, or I ain't gonna put nobody out there like that. But honestly, um, a lot of these podcasts, they don't want you to be real. I feel like they want you to say what the public want to hear, but they don't want you to say what we need, what needs to be heard. And again, that's just the whole political chain, the whole political game that Dion not willing to play, and a lot of these organizations know that. Um, Now it's the few that I've dealt with that's when they for real about lupus, they are. And I've dealt with a few that's for real, but me mainly, I really don't do a lot of it now because I think a lot of people just want to build their own personal platform, okay, and they try to turn it into a competition. And the funny thing about it is their organization not even 10 minutes away from each other, and they trying to compete. When I'm like, no, y'all should come together and make a powerful impact. But I think even I mean, you see it all the time, even on social media now. It's about who got the stronger platform, who got this and who got that. But we trying to compete against each other when we need to be spreading the word to the people that don't know about lupus. So I think when I really realized that and just understood that, I'm like, man, why I'm gonna keep jumping on everybody else's platform talking to each other? We already know we got lupus. We already know what we are dealing with. So we sit here trying to compete with each other when we need to be telling the ones that don't know, the ones that when I'm out at the grocery store and they come up to me and they ask questions about my whatever shirt I may have on. Those are the people that we need to reach. Therefore, when we go to those meetings or when you have those meetings like that, now you got a public, some type of public stance with you because you've been out there doing the work and we got to put it out to the actual public. That's all. So
Yeah.
for me, like I said, I do it different. I ain't been invited to a lupus platform in a while, but at the end of the day, I'm one of the major guys that you see on social media advocating every day with my bro Emmett Henderson. We got the Lupus Dream Team page. So
Mhm.
these are consistent things that you see for years. It's not like we just started this. We've been doing this for years. But at the end of the day, it's just they got their way of doing it. Like I say, that's well above my head. I don't even try to think about it no more. Like I say, I do it Dion way. I do it my way. Yeah, for real. Look, they don't like me. That's cool. Hey, that's cool. I'm still doing what I'm called to do without a bunch of politics, without a bunch of red tape, and I'm still getting the message across, and I'm still helping people. And look, the funny thing about this is, I get people to reach out to me asking for money if they need help. Okay, and I wish I had the like I say, I wish I had the funding to help these people that need help with their bills. But these same people that's connected to an organization, a big major organization, they telling them no. That don't make sense to me.
That's
But
what I
yet
was
they want
talking
you to send their
about.
money to their that don't make sense. Right. So
Millions of
and
dollars.
but that's what's going on. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on. Right. But when we have those conversations and we say that, everybody getting their feelings about it. But at the end of the day, that's what's really going on.
It
Because my
is.
thing is this: if right, if they're giving money to your organization and they're a loyal member or whatever membership fees they got going on and all this stuff, every time you ask for a donation, you giving them money and they get in one little bind and you can't help them with one bill, that just don't make sense to me. That just don't make sense to me. But again, don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear that.
Oh, like I
you
I
know,
want to hear it. That's one reason why I show what people sew in or donate to Lupus Has No Face. You see the things that's being done in the community or the turkey drives or whatever, or people will, inbox or email, and I'll keep their name private, but I'll put it out there because this is what it is for.
Right.
And that money that they have, if I had it,
Right.
oh my God, it'd be so much more. But the time has not came yet, and that's
It's
fine.
crazy.
But
Yeah.
places like that, they don't
Yeah.
last long. You know what I'm saying? And they have millions of dollars each year to do things for the Warriors, and it's not being done. And that is one of the things that I brought up in the Capitol. Like, so
Right.
I totally understand what you're
Right.
saying.
Anything.
Even the resources,
Anything.
you gotta give them something for them to give back.
It's,
It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to
man.
tell people. I have people they'll go back and rewatch the show and they'll be like, "Oh, you on
Right.
Ballista? How was this?" And I'll let them know. Like for me, it's wonderful, but do your
Right.
research. Talk to your doctors about it, and I'll tell them like all of your doctors have to be in communication with each other so they can make the right plan for you. All of your doctors have to talk to each other, and a lot of people just that
That's it.
small piece of information. A
That's it.
lot of people didn't even know that. You got to be able to tell them how to go about it, what to do,
Yeah.
and why. So,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. You want it. You want it. Yeah. So again, if you notice, I just stay in my own lane. I just do what I do, and I just let it be, because it's so many people out here suffering from lupus, struggling, trying to figure this thing out, and we sitting here playing this little politics game about it because they not writing checks to your organization. I just disagree with that. I do.
I
I do.
totally disagree with that. I disagree with a lot of the things, but again, it's a lot of businesses out here that have never made a commercial, that have never made a billboard, and they reach so many people. So I say that to you, like you don't have to have a billboard. You are reaching so many people that you don't even know that you're reaching. Like
Oh,
I promise you.
oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
so
Of
when
course.
it's time for that to come, it'll be time for that to come. But until then, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, and who we reach is who we reach. And when they reach back
That's
out, or
it.
however that goes, that's what it is. I love you for that.
That's
I
it.
love you. Um, how do
No
you see
doubt. You already
it
know.
being the lupus community and raising awareness for the disease?
Um, I think honestly, the only thing that we can do is I'm gonna just keep being consistent, keep advocating, keep pushing the word. Um, if y'all don't know me, I mean, people know me by now. I have a different Beat Lupus shirt on every single day. My closet, my wardrobe is Beat Lupus, like for real. I can't like it's funny, like but the only thing that we can do, especially me from the standpoint and the position I'm in, is just to keep advocating, to keep pushing the word. I feel like at the end of the day, especially the area I'm in, they don't publicize lupus a lot. So I really gotta push hard, and keep doing what we're doing, like the podcast you have, the things that you're doing. We got to keep pushing it. The the funny thing about this is watch when May hit. Okay, watch how hype everybody be the whole month of May. Like I'm getting tagged in posts, people ain't see, people. I'm like, yo, like the whole month of May is just ridiculous. But then as soon as June 1st hit, that energy just goes away.
And
Why
it
is
should
that?
be all year round.
Like
It's
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Consistency is key. And I think the problem is we're not consistent. Watch how hype may be. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna be able to get on my daggone timeline in May because there's gonna be so much stuff going on. For real. I'm like, I ain't even know you had lupus. Hold on, you tagging me? I ain't like for real. Like that's how crazy may be. But soon as June 1st come, everybody lupus is just in remission until next May. And then
no, that's
that's how I feel. That's,
what
that's
I
how I
love it.
feel. Everybody lupus go in remission on June on June 1st until next May, and then it flares back up in May.
I listen, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why I do something every quarter. Like I do something every quarter. The month of May, I'll go hard because it's lupus awareness month. But every quarter, you're seeing Lupus Has No Face doing something because we can't just learn
Yeah.
everything in one
But
month.
you
Like what
but
we
you consistent. Right. Right. But you consistent throughout the whole year though, man. The month of May, I be getting people hitting me up like I ain't even like, wait, hold on. Like I'm like, man, yo, May. Matter of fact, May, I think I'm gonna just go offline this year. I'm just gonna go
doing.
offline this year and
You
just let
can't go
everybody.
offline.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let everybody else do their thing. Cause May be crazy in May, boy. As soon as June 1st come, remission kick in. I'm like, bro, all right, we good now. Now let's get back to the little regularly scheduled show. It's crazy, but that's just how it is, though.
And but you
Yeah,
right, like I never really paid attention to that. I never really paid
yeah,
attention to that. But when people reach out to me, they like, you are the first in the Midwest. And I'm like, really? You know what I mean? Like, really? And they was like, do you know anyone else? And I'll tell them, like, I'll
yeah,
give them other, depending on where they're at. But like, no, I tell people they can call me whenever, even though the goal is to be behind the scenes and have people do that for me because that does take a lot on me. But I'm okay with that if I'm helping whoever. Like, I get calls to go to the hospital wee hours in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, just
wow,
random people that's
right,
been following me and they be like, she's in critical condition and this and that, and somebody told me about you, and I'll go and give my energy and do whatever it is that I do. And
yes,
then I hear months later like she's doing so well and that really worked and things of that nature. Like, so I'm who else other than me to have lupus? God ain't restrict me from anything, so I'm okay with it. He using
that's
me
it,
and let him keep using
that's
me,
it,
so I am fine with it because so
that's
many
it,
people are
that's it,
literally coming to and watching those
right.
emails and those texts. Like, I'm just like, I'm only doing what I was doing. I'm only teaching you what I was taught or what I
That's
learned
it,
and how I'm maneuvering. So I
that's it,
absolutely love it.
that's it, that's it.
Um advice for no for aspirating musical facing their own health challenges, what advice would you give them about pursuing their passion while managing their condition?
I would say never ever give up. I
Mm.
feel like every road you travel is not going to be easy. Um, I really gotta. I, I really think about this. It says the Bible says First Peter 5:10. It says God does our purpose. So whatever pain you're going through, whatever pain that you're dealing with, it's a purpose behind that pain.
Mm.
To get to the finish line, you got to go through something. At some point, you have to go through something. A lot of people want to get to the finish line, but they don't want to go through. So what I had to learn when it comes to this lupus, I know that it's a purpose for all the pain that I deal with when it comes to lupus. So anyone that's in this moment trying to get to where they trying to get just in life, musically, whatever you got going on in life, you got to understand is, you know, you got to go through that situation to get to that finishing point. And if you don't want to go through that, then that's your reason to actually give up. But if you're willing to go through and sacrifice to go through it, your goal gonna be where you need it to be in the end. So that's the advice that I would give anybody.
That is so powerful and it's so true. I tell my friends and I speak it all the time because, with certain periods in your life where you go through something, you really recognize like what's going on. Like last year was my period where I understood weapons formed against me will not prosper. So to me, I actually lived and understood what that meant. Like being successful is hard. And being successful is going to come with all of the things. And
Mm-hmm.
he is going to put you through in order for you to be able to maintain what you're going through so you can maintain at the level of success that you are asking him for, right? So when all of the things that was coming to me in 2024,
That's
it
it.
could have took me out, it could have broke me, it could have just ended everything, right? But guess what?
Right.
It didn't.
Right.
And at that very moment, I'm like, being successful is hard. Being successful is gonna come with so many things that you can't explain, so many things that you don't want to be bothered
That's
with.
it.
But if you continue to stay faithful and keep moving and don't let it break you, like you're going to reach the potential with abundance and more.
That's it.
So last year was
That's it.
really like my breakthrough of everything, and like you said, like you consistency is the key. You keep working, and you keep working, and you keep working, and I promise you, it's going to definitely pay off. Like as far as like
That's it.
let's just for instance, the singers and rappers and things like that. When they first come to TV, right? That's not they've been working 5, 10 years behind the scene, and now they just
Of
taking
course.
off. Been working.
That's it.
Yeah, people
That's
don't
it.
understand. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work, and you
That's
got
it.
to be consistent if you want to get anything out of it. Because one day you're gonna be working your tail off, and the opportunities are just gonna be flooding your door. And that comes with being
That's
living
it.
well with people.
That's it.
You got to talk about it. You got to breathe it. You know what I
There you
mean? And
go.
if you can't talk about it, you can't breathe it. And those are
That's it.
the wrong people to be around because your company, which who you keep, determines where you're going.
Woo.
So you got, and you're
Yes.
trying
Man.
to become something, or you trying to make a changing lifestyle. You gotta be with some people that's already doing it. So
That's it.
that's
That's
my
it.
take on
That's it.
take on it.
Yo, yo, immediate circle. Your immediate circle, like, yeah, your immediate circle is so important. And I didn't realize how jacked up my immediate circle was at one point in my life, especially when I was dealing with Luke. Like, I didn't even realize that. And then I'm wondering why my health is so bad. Like, my circle it just won't sweet. It just won't there. So you got to change those things. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because that's very important. That's very important. That's very important.
It is. You gotta be around who you inspire to be. Like it that's just how it works, you know. Um
Hmm.
in what ways has music
Yeah.
act as a form of therapy in your life while navigating lupus?
Wow. Music, music saved me. I believe music saved me.
Oh wow.
Um, there's no way there's no way I would be probably sitting here on this podcast with you if music didn't shape me. It didn't. Music molded me. Music was my safe place. Um,
Mm,
when I was dealing with so many things and trying to figure out lupus, and again, being around the wrong crowd, being around the wrong people. Drums was always my safe place, and I feel like whenever I'm behind the drum set, no matter what I got going on in life, whether good or bad, it all goes away right there. Like when I sit down on that seat, I feel like I'm in a bubble. I'm in a shell, and that's the greatest feeling ever. Like that's the best feeling ever. Sometimes I'd be like, man, the show over with. I gotta get back to reality now because the world comes at you so hard sometimes. So
mm,
drums is definitely my safe place. Music saved me, and again, I'm just so grateful that God just allowed me and put me in that space and just put me in that position. But music is therapy for me because that's how I deal with lupus. There's no way I can deal with lupus if I didn't have that therapy of music to take that away. So, and I don't know if you remember, LaShawn Garola, like she's a
mhm.
great friend of mine. Me and her do a lot of lupus work together. When I tell you now she for real. So anything she do, any type of event or something she got going on, I'm gonna rock with her all day because she for real. But we actually have a medicine and music series that we did, and it talks about the benefits of medication and music. And she's the expert on the medical side, and I was the expert on the music field. So it worked. I mean, it worked out so good, and that was again. So music really helps especially me with my day to day with lupus. So, but everybody got to have some type of outlet. So it may not be music for everybody, but for me, that's just what it is.
No, for sure. Shout out to LaShawn Grow. That's my soror. So yes, she's the doctor now. So I'm so super proud of her. So it definitely makes sense to have an expert in drums and music and an expert with the medication because she dang sure know what she's talking about.
Mhm.
Dang sure know what she's talking
She is
about.
she is tough. She tough.
She
Yeah,
is.
she
She don't
tough.
play no
But she
games.
but but let me yeah, but let me say this though. She is for real.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got to make sure I let the people know. She's for real, and it's not about self. It's about community, and she gives back, and
She
that's what I'm talking about. So she awesome, awesome people, awesome.
She is. She spoke last year for my fourth lupus informational. She came down last year. So yeah, she's definitely the truth when it comes to this lupus thing. So my hats off to
Yeah,
her. I always
yeah.
tell her I look up
Yeah.
to her. So
That's
that is dope.
much love, much
Yes, for
love,
sure.
Deshaun, much love.
For sure. She gonna be graduating soon. May or April. I gotta look, but I'm sure that
Okay,
she
yep, yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna drive
yeah.
down there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be down there too.
Okay,
But
okay, nice, nice.
what you was about to say? Was you
Oh,
gonna
no,
say
you
something?
good, you good, you
Oh,
good.
uh,
Oh no, you fine.
so what all do you have? What all do you have coming up? Where can the people find you? I'm gonna have my producer Tone. Please drop those hashtags in the chat. What all you got going on? How can the people find you? Where can they follow you?
Okay. You can follow me at Dion Langley on Facebook. I actually have a hashtag Beat Lupus group. It's hashtag Beat Lupus on Facebook. I got a YouTube page, Drum for Lupus. That's drum, the number four, Lupus. I got Instagram, Drum for Lupus. Instagram, Beat Lupus Apparel. Um, uh, Email is drumforlupus@gmail.com. Again, it's drum, the number four, then lupus@gmail.com. What else? I got the Lupus Dream Team page. Wow, what else? What else? Oh yeah, musically, it's DP Media Group, Dion Langley featuring BKS Band. I have a lot going on musically. I'm about to release an album. We just did our live recording in February. Yes, so I'm about to release the album. So I'm excited about that. Follow our YouTube page is DP Media Group 22. It got YouTube videos up there. Let's see. Google, type in Dion Langley Lupus. Just type my name in. You'll see probably Lupus stuff and music videos. So it's pretty much easy to find me. But I'm just excited about this year. I got a lot of things coming up musically. I'm also excited too. I got to let everybody know. I won 2025 Veer Music Award Smooth Jazz Artist of the Year. So I'm excited about that. And yes, yes.
Congrats!
So
That's too
Jazz
hard
Artist of the Year.
to
Yes. Yes.
Wow,
So
congratulations.
thank you. Yes, I'm so excited about that. I got a couple of things going on. That's gonna really hit big. I just can't say now.
Okay.
But
But make sure you
I'll be.
tag me so I can share.
I got you. I'll let you know. I got you. I
Okay.
got your back. Trust me. You are with me. But again, be looking out for Dion Langley featuring BKS Band. Trust me. We are we on the move. We on the move. Trust me.
We doing a
Trust me.
thing, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, you welcome. I appreciate it so much for having you coming on this platform, letting people know like men do have lupus, men
See,
go through, but it is a way to get through living well with lupus, right? And I
that's it.
love how you are tapping into it musically. People have to find their niche of how they want to start living well, because the first thing is to accept it, right? Because I heard you
That's
say
it.
from 2010 to 2012, excuse me, you were doing bad because you haven't accepted. And the first thing
Hmm.
is accepting what you have so you can let go of all of the things and started learning to live well with lupus, because you can live up to 100 years old with lupus. It is not a death sentence. And to see a vibrant young man with his hands and all of the things, that's like so much inspiration to so many people that they can do it. It's a
Thank you.
long journey. It would definitely be a journey every day, but it is very, very, very feasible. So I thank
That's
you
it.
for coming on the platform, letting them
Thank
see
you.
you, letting them hear you, and just
Thank you.
giving them just all of the inspiration that they need. We are definitely going to have you come back on here again.
Yeah. No, listen,
Because
listen.
I want
For
to
real, for
cover
real.
some
Check this
more
out.
stuff. Huh?
No, listen though. Really, really, I gotta come in the studio next time. Like, we definitely need to daggone talk about that. Like,
Oh,
I gotta come in. Yes, I would love that. I would do that for you. I got you. I
let
got you.
me know when you in Milwaukee. Okay,
I
we
got
can definitely
you.
make
Yeah,
that
yeah,
happen, and
yeah.
I'll make any day work for you. You know, because you special. So I
Okay,
normally
got
record on Wednesdays, but if you
got you.
popping in town and I can get you, we can make
I
any
got
day
you.
work. So, and
I
we
got you.
can come
Trust me.
over here.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, BK's band to be in Milwaukee soon. Okay, I'm working on it. We're working on it. Yep,
Okay, okay,
working on it.
okay.
Yep.
Don't get me excited because I'm coming.
Got you.
I am
We
coming.
got
I
you.
am coming. So,
Most definitely.
before we close out, what would you give people to take away from anything? What would be your takeaway words, or to give people a takeaway?
It to me, you got to trust God.
Oh
It's no
yes,
other way. I can sit here and say everything that probably makes sense, but the only way I know how, and the only thing that got me through, I had to trust God, because I used to put my trust in man. I really did, and I wasn't there where I needed to be. But when I started trusting God, my life turned around and things started happening for me. So that's just being real. That's just being real.
yeah,
I'm not perfect, so I'm not telling you Dion is perfect, but or my life is easy. But I seen the difference in my life once I put God first and where He needed to be. So that's just what it is.
period. I felt
Yep.
all of that. I felt all, and
Yep.
I totally understand what you're saying. So you guys, y'all got all of his hashtags. You guys know how to reach out. A lot of men do not like reaching out to women when they have lupus because they haven't accepted it, right? So Dion is a very educated, open, loving guy that you can reach out to pour out anything that he can pour back into you.
That's it.
So thank you for tuning in. We are here every Wednesday at 6:30 on all platforms. If you missed the live, you can definitely replay it. So until then, next time. See you later, D.